up everybody? Sadia here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about something very important if you want to come study in Canada and are applying for a study permit. The explanation letter. That letter is a chance for you to explain your reasons for wanting to study in Canada and demonstrate to the visa officer why you're a good candidate for the study permit. But it's not as simple as just listing your reasons. You need to be strategic and show strong ties to your home country and demonstrate your commitment to leaving Canada and returning to your home country at the end of your study permit period. So you've done your research, you've chosen your program, and you've applied to your dream university. Now it's time to sit down and write that all-important explanation letter. But where do you even start? Well, first things first, you need to introduce yourself. Who are you and why are you applying to study in Canada? It is very important to be specific. Which specific programs are you applying to and how does that relate to your career goals? What do you hope to accomplish by that? And why specifically do you want to study in Canada for that particular program? By the way, if you want to look at some samples, link in the description. One big misconception is you need to have a big amount of money in your bank account for studying in Canada and applying for a study permit. So a lot of people ask their friends and family, get loans, get them transferred to their account for the purposes of showing a bank statement, which is actually really bad. If a certain amount of money pours into your account and your financial means or your parents' financial means cannot really obviously justify it, it can raise really red flags and it can get your visa application rejected. What's up, brother?
Hi, Sadia.
Oh, you want to study in Canada? Yeah, do mention that you have a sister living in Canada in your application. It will help you.
Really?
Yeah, totally. You should tell them.
Okay, thanks.
No. Another misconception is that having relatives in Canada will help your chances. It won't, because it can signal to the visa officer that you have other options. You have maybe plans of not leaving Canada. If you have strong ties to Canada, if you have relatives here, you want to stay with them, then you want to permanently settle here, then why are you taking the study permit route instead of taking the express entry or skilled workers program or any other immigration program? So as a student, when you're applying for study permit, having relatives in Canada, having strong ties to Canada, or indicating any plans of permanently settling in Canada can actually hurt your chances of getting a study permit. So do not indicate in your application that you want to permanently settle in Canada if you're applying for a study permit. If you're applying for an immigration program, sure, that's a good idea to show strong ties to Canada and showing relatives living in Canada, but for a study permit, no, don't do that. Another big misconception is that you can get a study permit as long as you have a valid offer from any DLI, Designated Learning Institute, in Canada. Oh, wouldn't that be nice, right? No. If your field of study is easily available in your country, the chances of you getting a study permit are quite low. So you have to justify in your application that the field of study that you have chosen, why is it not available in your country, if it is available or not, and why you have chosen specifically Canada for that particular field and not any other country. And you should have a reasonable explanation for why Canada is the right place for you and the best opportunity for you to be able to study. You also have to show strong ties to your home country, and there are pretty much two ways to show strong ties to your country. One way, and a good way, is to show that all of your friends, family, everybody lives in your home country. You can show what a close-knit family you are and you would love to be reunited to them as soon as possible after you finish your studies. So you can choose your friends, family, relatives, everybody living in your country as a reason to show strong ties to your home country and reiterate that you plan on returning to your home country after finishing your studies. Another good way is to show any assets that you have. If you own a home, if you own a business, if your family owns a business, anything that ties you to your country would be a good reason to indicate in your explanation letter in the part where you are showing strong ties to your home country. And finally, don't forget to mention your plans after coming back to your home country. If your family has a business that you will be taking over after coming back to your home country, mention that. If you have a job offer that you will be taking after finishing your studies, do mention that. You have to mention your plans of after finishing your studies, and those plans have to include you leaving Canada and moving either to your own country or to another country at the end of the period of your study in Canada, because the visa officer wants to know that you won't become a burden at Canada's healthcare system, or you won't stay in the country illegally. So you have to really demonstrate and reiterate in your application what are your plans after finishing your studies in Canada, and how your studies in Canada can actually help those plans. If those are, for example, advanced studies like masters or Ph.D, and it will help you get a better job in your country, if it will help you progress in your career back in your country, do mention that. You have to list your plans after returning to your home country. Also, be honest, be concise, don't make stuff up, definitely don't lie in your application. Review your application multiple times before you submit it, and hopefully you will get your study permit. Now, if you want to know how to apply through SDS or non-SDS streams, what is the entire procedure, what kind of documents you need, what are the fees, and what are the processing times and all that stuff, then watch this video next, where I list down the step-by-step procedure for applying for a study permit through both SDS, and which is student direct stream, and non-SDS stream. And I'll see you in the next one.